I've got a project that I've been putting off for about 6 months. My daughter's snowblower last year, she only had to use it a couple of times last year, but she told me one day, she says, I'm going to have to buy a new snowblower because it doesn't pull itself any longer. You have to really push it, and it doesn't blow snow very far. And so I said, well, bring it over to the house and I'll work on it when I get a minute. Well, I got a lot of minutes now. It's raining out, the mosquitoes are thick. I mean, they're even thick in my garage here. So I'm going to go out and drag it out of my pile of projects, and we're going to try to get it working. $123, $103. I can't make one for that. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, well, actually the first thing I did, I cleaned out the gas tank. Had some little tiny shavings in it. I sucked them out. You do it any way you want. It was very dry. There was no gasoline in there. And it looks pretty clean except for those little shavings. Those could have been in there from the manufacturer. Now I'm pulling out the spark plug. It actually doesn't look all that bad. But now I'm going to hook it up to this wire. Right here. And I'm going to take a ground wire and hook it to this little, right here, to something that's ground, metal, probably the top of the motor. And see if I got a spark. Remember what I'm doing here. This is just to see if this engine's even worth working on. Okay? I'm going to move my gas can. Just for fun. And this is to give it ground. Now it'll think it's screwed into the engine. I'm going to turn on the key. I see nothing. Ah, there's a little spark. Not very great. Okay, that's good. So I got a spark plug like this, and we'll see if we have spark. Okay, I'm going to try it again. It's sparking. You may not be able to see it, but I can. So that tells me that that works. Let's see if the electric start works. So we're going to put some gas in it. First of all, we're just going to put some gas directly in the cylinder and see if it'll even pop. Okay. Alright, so far I got a new spark plug. I repaired the boot that goes over your spark plug wire. And now and I tested this spark plug and it does spark. So I put a little bit of gasoline down right into the carburetor's not doing anything right now because it's, anyway, look at these handles are all loose. I tried, you hear that? I did look up those parts and I can get it for about, I can get those paddles for like 25 bucks. I can't spend my time cutting old tires and making them for that. I only do that if they're just ridiculous. Now MTD did one over about 125 bucks for them, but on Amazon I was able to find some for like 25 bucks. Anyway, so I'm going to look it up. While I was looking those up, looking at the parts diagram, they talk about a plate, and I imagine they're talking about this plate right here. See, there's a plate there, but it seems to be okay. Shocking. It even has a lot of adjustment. See how it's got adjustment under there? You can actually adjust it out. Not sure what this is for. Could the plate possibly be on backwards? Who knows where they assemble these things? I mean, they probably come in a box, and I don't know how they come. But anyway, like at Lowe's or somebody, they have to put them together sometimes. Sometimes they don't put them together, like my lawnmower. So that just looks wrong. Why would you make it like that? Well, I'll look at that in a minute. But anyway, this little thing right down here, this, which may be on there backwards, is like 16 bucks. Almost as much as all these paddles. Because when I say all of them, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and two little thrower. I call them throwers. These are actually like drive wheels. Notice how they're shaped. They pull you along, and that's why my daughter's probably having to push the thing into the snow. And they're made to wear out. I mean, you know, it's not like a steel wheel tractor. They thought they were making them forever. I didn't see this webbing. It's probably on there somewhere. But I think I can take my little tiny welder and straighten this one out a little bit. All right, back at it. Well, so far, we know that it will run if it gets gas to the spark plug. We know the spark plug fires. So now, I'm going to fill this tank about half full of gas, just in case I have to drain it out for some crazy reason, or we get a hell of a leak. This is about 40 to 1, calls for 50 to 1. That's 50 parts gas to 1 part oil. In other words, you had 50 gallons of oil, you put in 1 gallon of gas. Make sense? Wrong. If you had 50 gallons of gas, you put in 1 gallon of oil. Does that make sense? And then you can divide it up any way you want. But if it says 50 to 1, that means 50 gallons of gas to 1 gallon of oil. Or 50 drops of gas to 1 drop of oil, whichever way you want to look at it. Alright, so far there's no gas running out, but that doesn't mean much. Now, this thing has a choke and a primer. I'm going to try that first, it's just got to try it somewhere. And I'm thinking this turns on the blades. Starts. We'll see how hard it is to restart without choking it or anything. I'm not even going to waste my time trying to get that electric start to start. This needs one of these. I'm sure I got some of those somewhere. I'm not sure what happened here. Why doesn't that work? Hell if I know. I got the washer on the wrong side. Okay, here's a rub on me. Notice this was bent, remember? I didn't know it was broke. These actually come off of there. So, let me look it up, see how much those are, if anybody even has them. The tin. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them on there. Okay, I welded this up. I know it's not pretty, but at least it's welded as one piece, and I backed it with pieces of metal. So I'll be able to put. I couldn't find these. They don't sell these by themselves. The only way I could get these, new ones, we get the whole assembly. And now we're talking another $150. Add $20 for the paddles, 170. We're halfway to find a new one. So we stop right there and use 10 cents worth of welding wire. So got that done. And I was looking at this plate. These plates are $16. I think I made that on the video that when I lost my tripod. But anyway, these are reversible. See? This is the side, the one with my thumb on it, the side that they were using. Okay? And it was just about to wear through the top. It actually had folded some of this plastic up over the top of the bolts. So all you got to do is reverse it. And it's 4 bolts. They're carriage bolts, so you just got to kind of put your finger on the top and jolt the bottom is loose, 4 little bolts, and adjust it out. You're good. Okay. As you can see, it was sticking all the way out. I'm going to assume the guy that put them on at the factory knew what he was doing. So I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of, actually I'm going to put wheel grease on here. Because you get this stuff in a bulk like this, and I never like using it because it always gets dirty. So once in a while I'll use it on these bolts. Just touch a little bit on there. Make my life easier. Make the next guy's life easier if there is a next guy. I'm mad time we wear out this next plate. The whole thing will be falling apart. So, depending on how much ice they hit. Hangs up. It's made to hook. Kind of not hook, but go right straight up. And there's something in the way here, so I'm going to cut the corners off right here. The factory didn't do that. They knew it. They just didn't want to take the time to slice that little corner off. Or if there is a next day. I like to try to get everything done that I can. That if I feel like doing, my body feels like doing. My mind feels like doing something every day, but mind over body, I used to think that was true. When you had a body you could count on, it is true. But if you're old, you're old. Period. The way it is. You're gonna have good days and you're gonna have bad days. I don't care how much you take care of your body or you abused it. They're just gonna be days like that. Mama said it. They would have made those bolts 10,000, or hell, yeah, 10,000s longer. It would have helped. I wonder how we get so much in there. I'll have to have a little help from my friends. Only a few people are still alive that understand some of the crap I say. My grandson told somebody that he tried to keep us laughing, but we just didn't get him. He's right. I watched him last time. He's my youngest grandson, actually. Not my youngest child, but my youngest grandson. And he's a car artist. But anyway, he told my daughter, his aunt, that Grandma and Grandpa just didn't get him. Because he likes to joke around, you know. And I'm sure he's using all this slang. Just like when I said you get a little help from my friends. And just means nothing to me. So anyway, he sure is fun. Well, here we go. I think I got them all started. Time will tell. See, one thing, they turn a lot easier with grease on them. Thought I was going to break them when I was taking it off. Alright, see that? That hook's on here. So that kind of shows me that this, now that I see how it's supposed to work, these paddles are worn enough that I can get my finger in there. Some of them are almost down to the metal. Basically this broken one was because it was wobbling around in there. They call that a spiral feeder. Pretty cool invention. I don't know who invented it, but I sure like working on them better. I like owning them better than owning something that pushes it with the wheels. Because these things, it's like a front drive lawnmower. If you want to stop it, all you gotta do is push down. You know, push down when you're behind it on the handlebars. You push down and it stops. So, in other words, these are actually going to come around and dig into the snow and the ice and crap and drag it along with these paddles. These paddles are really made to throw it. And they've got a lot of clearance. A lot more than I imagined they'd have. So anyway, I'd have probably made them so big that I'd beat it to death. So, I won't know really until I get new ones. See what the specs are on them. It looks like they're going to be about 3/8 of an inch thicker this way. Stick up this way. See, light is not the camera mic. You can see it's like a tire. That's what I was going to make it out of, was an old tire. But somebody made a business out of it. But for 20 bucks, that's only $5 a piece. Boom, boom, boom. Oh no, that's not even that. Those, you got 6 things there. And you're going to give me new screws, so I think. Anyway, 6 of them, 20 bucks. That's $6 a piece. My hand would ache for a week cutting those out of tires, trying to get the right length and curve on them. I'm not going to bore you with the rest of the tightening, but you can see what I'm getting at. This has got that little lip, goes up here, snow slides up in there, blah, blah, blah. A scoop. Yeah, I haven't tightened anything up yet. This one actually doesn't go through a hole. This one just catches the edge of it. The other one's stuck up, so I guess they're not too precise about it. I just got them all started. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up, and I'll go to the next one. There's a good chance that you might find one of these that was kind of over tightened. And the heads are buried in the rubber so far that I can't get. See if we can get them. See, it's buried in there, and I can't get my socket on it. I could probably use a screwdriver, but they're really rusty. So I'm getting on the back side of it and just turning it about one full turn, and then I can get my socket on it. This is the old bolt I'm trying to get out. This is what they sent me, so look at the size. It's got a big built-in washer like type. Okay, now you can see the difference. This is the old, and this is the new. So it's about 3/8 of an inch. At first I didn't think there was hardly any difference, but then I realized they'd actually moved the holes down. These holes look like at one time they were in the hole right in the center, but the new ones, they've lowered them a little bit so it sticks out a little more. I'm just going to stick the screw through there. You can see the difference. Quite a bit actually. Flange on it so it doesn't bury in the rubber like that.